I'm trying to get out of reselling a little bit. I mean, I love it and I'll always do it. It's just there's so much more opportunity out there.
Is it hard to focus them in on one thing?
Yeah, flashy, whatever's flashy is what everyone seems to kind of chase. Nothing like Amazon. I mean, if I see 20 people on a listing, I'm like, wow, that's really saturated. I try to be real with it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there trying to make it sound like it's the next big thing. That was such an opportunity, and it's not going to be offered again until something happens like that.
I think this is the next best move, if you don't mind being on camera.
Once you get a taste of like what's out there and how much brands are willing to pay you, you're like, this just doesn't compare. So it was so worth it, because at the end of the day, you're like, how many thousands of dollars did I just make for 8 hours of work?
Would you recommend Amazon, Walmart, content?
Ooh.
Somebody that I used to coach in Amazon, and he had been making videos since November, and he had one in December that got 800,000 views, and he made $6,000 off the video.
They'll send you the money via, Venmo or Cash App or whatever, and you'll charge like a $15 fee for this one purse, and they'll pay it, and they pay tax, and they pay shipping.
Let's just say they did like $30 million Amazon sales, and their cost of goods was like $28.5 million.
So like a 15-second AIP video might be like $50.
I think there's a big difference between like money and freedom. And a lot of times like we get in this for the freedom and then we get caught up in the money.
But like, why? They've already built this brick and mortar successful company. They don't need to be more like Amazon.
Right? You just lay in bed at night and just add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. That's going to be the title of this, uncovering a brand new 10K a month opportunity live on the pod.
I think I sent it to Drew and he's like, yeah, I think you're going to go to jail. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to tell them now.
And as soon as you get that brand that reaches out and they're like, yeah, $2,000 a month for 3 videos. I mean, after that, you're hooked.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Side Hustle Experiment podcast. Today we have Sarah, aka Arbitrage Avenue. She's done over $4 million selling on Amazon and Walmart together. She does UGC, she does TikTok shop, she runs a Discord, she has a family, she does all sorts of stuff. So thanks for being here. We're going to cover all that stuff. So let's get into it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Yeah, definitely. So give us a little intro, I guess, to get started. Like, how'd you get into all this stuff?
So I started selling on eBay, so online sales back in 2006. So I've always kind of dabbled online, but in 2019, I became a stay-home mom, and I was kind of looking for just a side hustle, something to bring in some money so we could do sports with the kids, vacations, stuff like that. Came across Amazon FBA, had no idea that Amazon had third-party sellers like a lot of people. Started in my living room, just kind of flipping things. I mean, I shopped a lot at Walmart at the time. It took me a while to kind of get into it, I guess, and kind of find my groove. But shortly after, the pandemic hit, and a lot of opportunities came with that. So I was able to scale pretty quickly. I hit my first 7-figure year in 2021, I'm sorry. And then on from there. And in 2021, I found Walmart, and I started flipping like my bad buys, or if I did bulk buys, I would kind of split it between the two platforms. And then did that up until last year when I started focusing more full-time on Walmart and less on Amazon. Just made sense for, the competition aspect, and the fees are easier, all that jazz. And last year, I also started adding UGC and AIP and all the things. So it's just kind of been a snowball from the start. I wanted some extra income, and it led into a business. I brought my husband home from work, so he works with me now too. And yeah, that's where we're at now.
So you've been doing Walmart for 4 years?
Yep.
You were probably one of the first people on there. I didn't even know that existed back then. So this is good, because we have so many people talk to us about Walmart. You probably have one of the best takes on this, considering you've been there for so long and probably see exactly what's happening now.
It's been interesting to see how nobody talked about it to now it's like the big new flashy thing. They brought third-party sellers onto their platform in 2009, so it's not new. It's just new to Amazon sellers, I think, which is pretty interesting. But
yeah, so were you doing a lot on there? Like, why did you never talk about it, maybe?
I did. I used to post about it. When I would post my Amazon sales, I'd post my Walmart sales. I was only doing like 5,000 a month though, so it's not like I was trying to like scale it like I was Amazon. The volume is on Amazon and everyone was talking about Amazon, so it just was natural. But as Amazon got trickier and things got more difficult with fees and shipping and all the jazz, you guys know. I just started to focus more over there. I started a free Facebook group. I started teaching it in a Discord last January, I think. So a lot of the sellers I've actually helped know how to do Walmart. So I've definitely been talking about it, just obviously not in the right places.
No, I'm sure. I just feel like that it's the last probably year. Like everybody's talking about that. I never even knew it existed before that. Now it's like the big
Oh, that's
hype.
big.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I don't it just came was an it was a natural occurrence for me. Someone had mentioned it in 21 and I just looked into it, and back then they didn't have WFS, so it was only seller fulfilled. So that
Mm.
probably kept a lot of people off of it too because they don't want to deal with the shipping. It's kind of like Target now. They're taking third-party sellers, but you have to seller fulfill.
I wonder if that's a good
Wow.
opportunity.
It's really different the way you have to get approved and like get all of your SKUs approved ahead of time, and they'll okay those items for their website and then you can sell them.
Wow.
Yeah.
We
Do
got
you
jump.
sell on Target then?
I'm approved. I have not sold though. There's too many things, and I'm trying to get out of reselling a little bit. I mean, I love it and I'll always do it. It's just there's so much more opportunity out there, and the ROI I feel like is worth it for my time to work on, working with brands, doing UGC, those type of things.
Yeah, how big has that gotten for you? Or is that, I guess since you're going to focus on it, it's gotten pretty big. Do you think that that'll like overtake what you were doing before, or is it already?
Great question. I'm working on automating a lot of the things that I do. So Amazon, I've just kind of let it go. I only seller fulfill when I see good opportunities.
Mhm.
It's not a focus at all. Walmart, I have VAs in place to kind of automate that for me. So all of my account management is done through a VA. My sourcing is done through another VA. So that's kind of rolling on its own. And then the UGC, I also have a VA that does UGC with me. And it's taking off. Both myself and my husband do UGC videos, and we're starting to work more with brands and kind of get retainers and things. So it's consistent income, which I
Mm.
like because with reselling, there's always something to chase, and the hunt is really fun, but it can differ from month to month. So
That's funny. We just hear this like over and over. This is what John's been talking about for so long. Cause I mean, obviously he's into that stuff too. It's like, it does seem like that's just, and the big thing's the no inventory, right? No cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no overhead, no inventory, no returns. So
I got
Yeah.
my Amazon associates deposit today, and I was like, damn, there's nothing tied to this. Like, this is the most
money.
amazing thing ever.
Yeah, it is nice. It's nice. Scaling it can be tricky, and we've
Mm.
always done it on the side, so I never really went full-time AIP, but we're focusing on that more in 25, especially as we're getting all of these free products that we're
Mhm.
creating videos for brands. So now I can just turn around, use them on AIP, use them on TikTok Shop. There's so many avenues. So Flip, that's another app that's kind of trending right now that TikTok almost went down, or I guess could still go down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see, I guess you run the group, the Arbitrage Avenue, right? Do you teach it that kind of stuff? And they're like, how's the sentiment of like how many people do Amazon, Walmart, UGC, that type of thing? Because we talk to a lot of group owners. I'm always curious, how is like the sentiment between all the people? Is it hard to like focus them in on one thing?
Yeah, flashy, whatever's flashy is what everyone seems to kind of chase. Um, so I run a Discord with Chaz, who owns Network Prep, and then Ryan, who is Rally Roots on YouTube. He's a big
Mm.
eBay seller. So we have a paid Discord, and we cover eBay, Amazon, Walmart, UGC, like all the things. Um, I've just started introducing UGC in the Discord. It has a lot of interest. We've been talking about AIP for about a year over there. Um, People are definitely getting into it, but I think unless they're consistently posting on their socials and stuff, a lot have trouble in the beginning getting approved. So that's kind of like a big
Mm.
process. But starting with AIP and then transitioning into UGC, seems to kind of like be the play because it gets you used to working with brands, what those conversations look like. And then that's where a lot of my brand direct relationships came from was AIP, and now they're monthly retainers. So it's a great place to start if you're thinking about it.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I feel like AIP too is it's just so interesting. Like you said, there's just so many different avenues you can monetize off of. And I feel like Amazon, like you just can't sell on Amazon only anymore. And even like the biggest people who really shit on Walmart pretty hard, like, oh,
Yeah,
they're all over there now. Like, oh, we're just gonna try this.
I know.
Right. And like, oh, you just start seeing all the screenshots, like, oh, this is really good. I can't believe this. And like, I think a lot of people, have you noticed any, probably not there yet, but you've been on Walmart a long time. Are you seeing like any saturation, like kind of like Amazon from when you
Oh,
first started to now?
I mean, there's from a year ago, you can definitely tell that people are flocking to the platform, but nothing like Amazon. I mean, if I see 20 people on a listing, I'm like, wow, that's really saturated. Because it used to be like three. I mean,
Wow.
Q4 of 23, if I saw five people, I would question buying the item because I'm like, wow, that's a lot. So it's definitely growing in popularity, but it also has its issues. It's very quirky. It's frustrating. I love fees because they're easy. Like they're very
Mhm.
easy to understand. It's black and white. But like returns, there's a lot of seller or buyer fraud over there. Buyers know how to kind of play the system to get stuff for free. So you're still dealing with all the same things. It's just a new platform. And it's just like orange bars. Like you can flash them, you can flash your screenshots, but at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of sellers actually don't know their Walmart numbers because reporting over there is so difficult and there's no softwares to help you because the data share isn't there. Walmart does not share their data. So there's a lot of things. So as a new seller jumping into Walmart, I feel like they'd be a, really confused. There's a lot of confusion. And then sellers that are used to like that volume play on Amazon are going to struggle a little bit because the items are just so different. Like something could fly on Walmart and not move on Amazon and vice versa. So it's a lot of trial and error.
Yeah, the problem I kind of see with it is like, is the demand of buying going to go up on Walmart over time? Like, I don't know how much that will, but the supply of sellers is definitely going up. Like they've probably 5x their seller count, but they're not 5x in their buying volume. So
Right.
when 20 sellers might be like 100 sellers on Amazon, something like that. That's where I find
Yep.
that we've had so many people talk about it. We even made accounts, me and John did, and I'm just like, dude, I don't know if this is worth it. Like by the time we're good at this and we figure it out, is it just, do we
Yeah.
just revert? Like, I don't really know. And now hearing you say this, it sounds like you are hyped on it, but it's just, it's kind of what we expected, I think.
Yeah, I try to be real with it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there trying to make it sound like it's the next big thing, but a lot of us sellers came from Amazon during the pandemic. Like that was such an opportunity, and
Mm.
it's not going to be offered again until something happens like that. So to say it's as big as it was on Amazon, it's not. There are definitely opportunities. There is volume on Walmart for certain SKUs, especially seasonal. There we had seasonal items that would just fly daily, and once you find those, it's great. But it's a lot of trial and error and trying to find those, and that's time consuming. So
Mm.
you gotta be realistic.
Yeah, I think that a lot all the time. And me and Drew talked about this a lot. We're like, we're gonna maybe should we do this Walmart thing? And then it's like, I don't know if I want to spend a bunch of time, like the next 1 or 2 years, learning this to be in
Yeah.
the same situation I am now with Amazon. And then the more and more I taste the influencer program, UGC, getting all this free stuff, like there's like
Right.
60 things here. It's so overwhelming right now. But it's just like I think this is the next best move if
Yeah.
you don't mind being on camera. Like if
Right.
you just want to
Right.
sit behind a computer and like spend money, that's fine. But for
Hmm.
me, it just makes no sense not to almost go all in on AIP and UGC at this point.
Oh yeah, there's so much opportunity with content creation. Walmart's really good for retail arbitrage, so it kind of rewards those sellers that are willing to be in the stores all the time and getting those discounted items. And some people thrive on that. I have a seller friend who's in those stores religiously every single day, and he loves it, and he's doing great volume on Walmart. It's just, what do you prefer? What brings you joy? That's not for me anymore. It was once upon a time on Amazon, but I feel like I've grown. And once you get a taste of like what's out there and how much brands are willing to pay you, you're like, this just doesn't compare. So
Your friend that you're talking about, was he around during 2020 or 2021, or she?
he was on Amazon, not as much.
Okay.
And he jumped over to Walmart about the same time I did. So we're kind of both, we've been there for a while. So we've kind of like watched the progression. And yeah, that's
Yeah,
still, he loves it.
I don't know if you feel like this, but it kind of sounds like it. Once the 2020 and 2021, like everything was flying. You could buy 100 items and sell them in an hour and a half. Like once you do that, like I remember how hard I was working at that time. I wish I would have worked harder in hindsight, but
Right.
it's like I don't even know if I can possibly do that anymore. Like go through stores for 8 hours a day. I don't know what it is about it, but it's like I could never see myself doing that again. And just because the reward would never be worth it like it was then. I feel like everybody I talked to from that, that was selling during that time period is kind of the same way.
Oh God, yeah. Just the hours of like buying pools and flipping chlorine and
Yeah.
all the things. We used to work our butts off, but it was so worth it because at the end of the day, you're like, how many thousands of dollars did I just make for, 8 hours of work? But it's a grind now, and it's going to continue to be a grind, I think. But for some people, that's okay. They're not looking to scale to the moon. They're just looking for an extra $2,000 a month, or a mom that can take her kids shopping with her and pick up some clearance items. Walmart's a great opportunity. It just depends what your goals are.
Yeah. So where you run the group, what are most people's like goals and that type of thing? What do you think that are most people trying to scale, or are they just trying to make a little side hustle with it? Because I feel like if we had somebody, Steve French, he was saying that the days of Amazon and this type of stuff being a side hustle are just like slimming. Like you got to turn it into a business because you got to know your numbers, you got to have these systems in place. And I get where he's coming from that. So do you see that?
Yeah.
Or?
With Amazon, I really do think it needs to be a full-time thing now because it's such a grind and hustle. You have to devote so much time and just keep recycling that cash. Like if you stop, everything kind of falls apart. When I stopped selling full-time on Amazon, like the cash flow, when that starts to dry up, that really hurts. And if you're not continuing to flip it, you definitely feel it. With Walmart, though, I feel like we do have a lot of smaller side hustle sellers, and their goal is, I mean, if they can sell 5,000 a month, they're happy. But the returns are better over there. The profit margin can be better as long as you know your numbers and you kind of stay away from items that are returned a lot. So yeah, I do see a lot of sellers still doing it like a side gig. A lot of people work full time. A lot different than Amazon.
That's good.
Yeah.
What you got, John?
Yeah, I guess knowing what you know now, what would you recommend for people to get started? Would you recommend Amazon, Walmart, content? If you're still listening to the podcast at this point, you are into it and a fan, and we really appreciate that. If you could do us a solid and subscribe, and do all that stuff, it really helps the podcast grow. And secondly, if you could tag us on Instagram, just take a picture of what part you are at the podcast. If you like it, tell us what you think about it. Tag me at Side Hustle Experiment, and I will definitely share it. Now let's get back to the podcast.
Ooh. I think again that's going to come down to your goals. I think the reward is in the content creation. If you were to be brand new today and you didn't want to invest a bunch of money into inventory, because that right there, usually people that are looking for side hustles are looking for that because they need money. So I don't necessarily agree that jumping into an inventory based business is the best decision if you're looking to make money right away. There's a reason, right? But if you can jump on TikTok Shop and throw some videos up and maybe, make 1,000 a week, or make some UGC or jump in AIP because you're already on your socials and you could qualify, that I think is going to be a much better ROI for your time than hunting down stores. But I mean, if hunting down stuff in stores is your thing, eventually I think the opportunity is great because we all know how much you can make if you flip products. It can be a great place. So it really just depends on your financial situation and your family situation and how much time you have to invest.
You mentioned TikTok Shop. Are you on there a lot?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not. So I had an account. It got shut down. So I'm building up another account. So I'm definitely on there, not as much as I want to be, but I just create videos with stuff that I'm getting for AIP or UGC. So I try to, when I get a product, I try to put it out there as much as I can, because it's all revenue streams.
Yeah. Have you had one that went viral yet on TikTok?
No, not like that.
I just talked to somebody yesterday. I forgot to tell you this, John. I talked to somebody that I used to coach in Amazon, and he had been making videos since November, and he had one in December that got 800,000 views, and he made $6,000 off the video. He said he
Yeah.
was making like $500 a day. And then I had another
Mhm.
friend, the same type of thing happened to him, and then his account got shut down. And he couldn't withdraw like a lot of the money.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to me that you can just make all these videos and get like 100 views, and then one hits 1 million, and you just make like 15K. It's like mind blowing. There's nothing really like it, and
No.
it's random. You just got to put the hours in, and you can get it done.
It's a
That's pretty
numbers
cool.
play for sure. Yep. The
Yeah.
more you put out there, the more chances you have. And then once brands start pushing ad revenue behind your videos, I mean, that can be such a huge play too. So
Yeah, go into that a little bit. I know a little bit about that, but explain that a bit for people.
when you create videos, and brands start to recognize, they will reach out to you and you can actually give them permission to put revenue behind your videos, and then it pushes it out to more viewers, and then you get the commission still on that. So it's just a way to get your video in front of more customers.
Yeah, the Spark ads, right? I think that's what they're called. Maybe on TikTok. I think that's the name.
I mean, that might be one of
Yeah,
them.
you
I
got
just know there's
for your
settings that.
for your video, you could give them a Spark code.
Oh yeah. Give them the
You
code.
send them
Yep.
that, and then I don't know how
Mhm.
they do it on their end, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so you basically are giving them free content,
Mhm.
but they push the money. That's pretty cool, and then you get the commission based off that. Do you have anything like that set up yet?
I have the settings ready, but I haven't had a brand reach out to me on TikTok specifically.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
What were you gonna ask, John? Sorry, I think I interrupted you there.
what happened to your TikTok account?
So when TikTok affiliate first came out last, like February, they started with like a beta. I have a good friend that was like, you got to jump on this. And we bought accounts to have enough followers to qualify. Dumb. His didn't get shut down, but mine did. So they took it away.
That's what I did.
Wah,
I
wah.
have an account there. I bought one 20,000 followers, paid like $400 for it. It hasn't
Yep.
got shut down yet, but I don't post enough, so maybe that's a little bit of the problem.
It could be. Mine had 17,000, and I think 20 might have been the cutoff because his got kept. Like his is okay, but my husband and I both bought one, and we both got shut down. So
Huh. Would you
yeah.
do supplement videos?
No, because
Okay.
you have to watch what you say with that. They can be such good money, but there's so many words and like phrases you can't mention, and you can get violations for those. So I just stay away from them.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That like the supplements are obviously the most profitable because you're like directly fixing somebody, but you can't
Yeah.
say like anything basically to push it. So
Yep.
yeah, that's difficult.
There's
Do,
a.
what,
Oh,
okay,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. You got it.
I was just gonna say there's a lot of opportunity on TikTok, even outside of TikTok Shop affiliate, to make money, like personal shopping. That's something I've been dabbling in a little bit too. Just people will watch you walk around a store and you can purchase products and they pay you right then and there for them. Like TikTok has so many opportunities in it. And I just feel like when you think about going and buying all this inventory that might sell on a platform, when you can literally walk out the door with cash in your hand, it's kind of hard to kind of
Wait, explain that. Do you know about this, John?
I did not know about this.
Yeah, explain this.
So it seems to be a lot of women, but so like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, all that. You could walk into a store, go live on TikTok,
Mhm.
show them the racks, and people will watch your live. So they'll watch you shop
Mhm.
and they'll be like, "Oh, I want that Steve Madden purse or whatever." They'll send you the money via, Venmo or Cash App or whatever, and you'll charge like a $15 fee for this one purse, and they'll pay it, and they pay tax, and they pay shipping. So people are making full-time businesses out of this. So they'll buy, for hours a day. Yeah, I mean,
That's
dude, it's
crazy.
yeah.
I can't have never heard of that. So I don't understand. So, I guess you run it like a reselling business, right?
Mhm.
The same
Yep,
type of
you're a
way, right?
personal shopper. Yep.
That's pretty cool.
I guess
And
that stores like that though, like that pocketbook's probably only in certain TJ Maxxes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's just a lot of brands that they want and they don't have access. Maybe they live somewhere that doesn't have the TJ Maxx and they'd have to pay full price if they went there. Like say Coach, they want a Coach purse. They don't have a Coach near them. They obviously don't know how to use coupon codes online. But pick it up from TJ Maxx. They're still getting a discount even after they pay you and they pay shipping. So it's good enough for them. And they
Have
can
you
just
been
buy it
doing
right
that a
on their
lot?
app.
That
What?
sounds fun. I bet that's a lot of fun. Have you been
Mhm.
doing that?
I've just recently started with that, but I have friends that have been doing it for, over a year. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that sounds similar to what's the app where people go live and sell stuff like that? It's not
Oh,
TikTok
whatnot?
specifically. Yeah, whatnot.
Hmm.
Have you heard much about that?
Yeah. Yep. I've Ryan, who I run the group with, does a lot of whatnot. I mean, he has huge shows on there. So yes, I've heard a lot. I've met with them. I've never tried it. It just again, you have to build up your followers. It's
Hmm.
time consuming because you have to stay on the whatnot show for 2 to 3 hours. Um, so I haven't personally done it just because I haven't needed to, but a lot of Amazon sellers are getting rid of their inventory via whatnot.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I know it's a little bit like you have to be like an auctioneer, right? You just have to constantly talk. I was on a TikTok live and I'm like, I can't shut up or the viewer count drops by 50%. It's probably the same
Yes,
type of
you
thing.
have, yep. You
Yeah,
have to
then you
keep
lose your
showing
voice.
stuff, talk
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, but you don't have to, like, your face doesn't have to be on it. People just show things in front of the camera, both on TikTok and whatnot. So whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, that's how I did it. I just put a screenshot of the product up and just started chilling it for like 30 minutes straight. I
Yep.
lost my voice. I got off. I made $40. I was
It's
like, this is pretty
exhausting
cool.
to talk so much. You don't realize it until
It
you have to do
is.
it.
Yeah.
No.
What else you got, John?
Yeah. No, I think you bring up a really good point, like circling back before being, there's such a great opportunity to do TikTok or something else. I'm not gonna like give the exact numbers because it would be super obvious, but there was someone who like was basically pretty transparent and let's just say they did like $30 million in Amazon sales and their cost of goods was like $28.5 million.
Hmm.
And I was just
Hmm.
like, damn, like you risked all that for,
Yeah.
I mean, $2 million, don't get me wrong, is a lot of money, but like it's also like in the business. It's not your money, like
Yeah.
per se.
Hmm.
And like it wasn't that big a scale, but like they were doing like over 10. And I was like, that is insane to like see that.
Yeah, it's a lot of risk. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to be willing to put all that into Amazon. And then with all these Section 3s, you get shut down, then you still have to pay your bills, but they're holding your money. Like the risk is not worth the reward, in my opinion. Everyone's different.
Yeah, I feel like it's a common sentiment. Like a lot of people, me and John are like so Amazon negative all the time. But then we have people on, and I swear, people listening, we don't talk to them before this a long time. We just ask a few things to get. Like we don't say, "Hey, we need you to show on Amazon." Everybody just does this naturally, just says these type of things. So, like,
Yeah.
we're being just transparent. I feel like you are being real about it, especially where you didn't just tell everybody to go on Walmart immediately. Like you can tell you're being real about it.
No. Yeah, no. If anything, I always try to be authentic because I mean, I'm not pushing anything. I don't have courses. I'm not trying to sell anybody to sway a certain way. I run one paid Discord. Everything else is free. So I have no reason to try and, talk about one thing over the other because I at the end of the day, everyone needs to make extra money. It's hard. We're all struggling. So if you can help someone bring in a couple extra dollars to feed their kids, then go for it. Like I'll just talk about whatever.
Definitely. I'm interested if you don't mind talking about it. I'm always curious people that work with their like partner, like husband or wife, on how that kind of thing goes. Because I feel like a lot of people say don't like do business with family or whatever, but I've always seen it of like that's probably the best people to do business with. So talk about that a little bit. What have the challenges been like, and then what got you to the point where you both are now doing this stuff full time?
Yeah, so the challenges have definitely changed over the years. When he first came home, I had already been running the business for a few years, so I was very much stuck in my ways, and I did things a certain way, and I was doing all the like everything. It was all me. So him coming home at first, it was really hard to kind of let go of that, and to this day, he tells me I'm a control freak. So that took time. And he had a lot of experience in like warehouse management. We had a warehouse, like a large warehouse and employees. And what I thought I knew and what he actually knew better than me, I had to, kind of let go and realize he knows what he's doing. He can cover this. So that took time. And then we also had family working for us too as some of our part-time employees. So, yeah, it has its challenges because you expect like a certain level, and when family doesn't perform that way, it's kind of awkward to be like, "Hey, step it up a little bit." So,
You're
that
fired.
can bring its challenges. But we've never really had too many negative experiences. I love being able to work with him every day. Especially now that we're home, like we had warehouses, we have one small shop now, but for the most part, we work from home. We share an office space. It's comfortable. Like we can goof off, and my son actually schools from home as well, so he's here. And I mean, not like things are big happy family all the time, but we do get along great, and we have a lot of fun, and it's been great. I We don't really butt heads at all, but we've been married a really long time too, so that might be part of it.
And you guys, is he doing? You said he's doing the UGC too, right?
Yeah, he's kicking my butt. So he's way better at it than I am. There's
Why
such
is
an
that?
opportunity for males, I think. There
Okay.
really is a demand for males to create content, especially like the millennial age.
Was he cool with it at the beginning? I feel like a lot of the reason there's such
No.
demand is 'cause most dudes are like, I'm not about to do that. But
Yeah, when I presented him this with this, he was like, "Yeah, no." But eventually, after doing AIP videos, I think he actually started to find it fun, and getting all the free products was cool too.
Mm.
So it was like a slow transition, but yeah, he like on Fiverr, for instance, he gets way more gigs on Fiverr than I do. So
Wow.
huh. Let's walk through that a little bit. I think you're the first person to mention Fiverr. I didn't know that was. I buy stuff on Fiverr, like services, but I didn't know you could do it that way. So
oh yeah.
how do you walk us through that process a little bit?
So you can set up a selling account on Fiverr, and you just create gigs. So like AIP videos, I don't really do free AIP videos anymore. I get paid to create AIP videos. So companies will hire you and be like, I need this. Like I've got lotion here. Can you make a video for this lotion bottle for me? I need it to be 30 seconds long or 60 seconds long, whatever. So they'll pay you that, plus you get the product for free, and then you can put it on your AIP account, your storefront, and you're getting commissions from it. So same thing with UGC. If you create UGC videos, you can have a gig for UGC specifically, and brands will reach out to you to create content for them.
Sweet. How much are they paying you on Fiverr? Or is it vary?
The fees, well, you set your own prices,
Oh, yeah.
and that's based on like length of time of video, or if they get video rights, if you sell the video rights. But their fees are 20%, I believe.
Well, I meant, what do you charge as your fee? That's a
Oh,
better way to ask it.
so like a 15-second AIP video might be like $50, and then it can go up every like 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, I think are my three.
Yep.
But once you get a stack of those, it's just easy.
Yeah, how many orders do you get a day? John, have you looked into this?
I have one. I've only gotten 3 orders. I did it like maybe like back when I started AIP in February, and just haven't kept up with it. My profile, I've done like 900 videos. I just looked at it, I have like 2,300 videos. So I have to like way update my profile for sure. That's like kind of on my to-do list of things to do. But yeah, it's a great avenue. For sure. Do you do a lot of creator connections, or not that much anymore?
Yeah, we do. When they started letting everybody in, it kind of got a little flooded, and there's a lot of private
Yeah.
label stuff in there. Excuse me. So it's not as good as it once was.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, we still do from time to time. He manages all that. Like he does all the connecting with the brands through Creator Connections. And then he's on Fiverr and Upwork as well.
Ooh.
Do you guys do stuff together ever? I know that kind of does like couple stuff.
Yeah, again, there's a need for couples content as well. That isn't it's on our list, but there's like so many things. We haven't created a gig for that specifically, but we we also are part of an agency where they bring customers to us, or I guess clients to us, so they bring us like couple gigs and stuff that they need. And those are my favorite because you're literally just reading a script and doing a lot of B-roll, and then they do all the editing and all that. So those are the best.
Also, how much does it cost money, or do they take a commission, or like walk through that process a little bit?
Yeah, so they pay you per video, and they're charging the brands more. So, like for a video, I might get $60 for a 30-second script read. but they're probably getting $60 as well. So, but
Mm.
it's a good way to kind of like get your name out and build your portfolio. But yeah, the best way to kind of get your name out there for free if you don't want to sign up with any of these other things is just Twitter. Like have your profile and just submit it. Look up
That's what
UGC on
somebody told
Twitter.
us, I think. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
telling us that Twitter, he said he had 500 followers and had like 30 deals from the last year just with 500 followers, which is
Oh yeah,
crazy.
one of my really good friends utilizes Twitter and he's killing it. So
Yeah, that's sweet.
That's awesome.
What else, John? You got a bunch of UGC stuff. This is good.
Yeah, I agree with you with the creator connections part. Like, it's definitely gotten harder, and it's kind of like a crapshoot too, because some of this stuff,
yeah.
um, you'll either make no commission on or a lot. Like, there was this thing that I thought was like really dumb. I was so mad to make the video. It was kind of annoying. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, why'd you do that? And like, I have like $1,000 of commission on it, and I was like, oh, it's like kind of good. But then like you kind of take that mentality in and take on all this other stuff that's like not so great. So you never really know when it's going to pop off. And I think
Mhm.
you kind of end up with that problem as well. It's like, what do you do with all this stuff?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
it's this moral dilemma. Like, can I post it? I was just doing Facebook Marketplace and it's just easy, but then like the people are annoying.
They
Then I
are.
got, I don't know, Wow Lister. Someone's like, you should get Wow Lister and put it on eBay. I was like, oh, that's just like another thing to do. Now I have to ship this stuff out. And it just like becomes this thing. And I also have like a liquidator that I could give him everything and he'll pay like $1 to $2 for it. I was just doing the math the other day and I was like, for Facebook Marketplace, like the amount I've made, like I should have just gave it to him, the liquidator,
It's
because like it's
funny.
just not worth the back and forth and the pictures and like for some stuff it's worth it, and that's why I made the most money. But for the majority of this stuff, like I guess it's just kind of you test it out too. It's like no one wants a pair of like knockoff headphones, like even if
Yeah.
they're $10, like it just has to go. So I always find that difficult. So you have a lot of things going on. How do you prioritize your time to decide what to focus on?
So I kind of have started breaking it up into days. Mondays and Fridays, I focus on Walmart and we make sure we get our Walmart shipments out for anything that I might have purchased from stores. I use a prep center for Walmart, so a lot of and I've been getting into OA more, so all of my stuff is going to the prep center. But I still do occasionally hit up like the Kohl's 50% off clearance sales or the Dollar General sales, the sales cycles that are always happening. So we'll do our shipments on Mondays and Fridays. Um, Wednesday is kind of like my in-office day, so I do my Discord calls on Wednesday. I work with I'm a brand ambassador for a software company, so we like meet on Wednesdays and go over content creation for them. Um, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm usually filming videos all day long. So I try to break it up per day, per whatever revenue stream I'm that day coincides with. And then I have, like I said, I have a VA for each platform. So they do a lot of it too. Like you were talking about eBay. I take pictures of my products and just shoot them over to her and she lists them on eBay.
Mm.
And then I just wait for them to sell. But we have that small, I call it a warehouse, but it's like 1,800 square foot storefront. So we store everything there. And then once it sells, we just go over there and ship it.
Oh, nice.
How do you choose when to like add stuff on? Because it feels like you've had like all these things go on. When is it like this opportunity is good enough, or
Well, I like to try everything. Like last year, I dipped my toes a little bit into liquidation. So I have a friend that runs a liquidation store in Florida, and I always just was really interested about the whole liquidation process. So she helped me. I purchased a full liquidation Target truck with the intent that I was going to open up a small liquidation store. And we did for a little bit. And I quickly realized it's a lot of work. It became a job. So we didn't end up continuing with that. But I try everything. If I love it and it resonates with me, I keep it. If if it doesn't, then I let it go. But
do you have any hopes in the future of like focusing on one thing solely, or like like a one thing that you could really scale, or do you think you'll always kind of dabble a bunch of stuff?
I kind of think I'll probably dabble. It's just who I am. I love to try all the new things as long as I can remain remote. I figured out when I had those warehouses and then the employees and all that, I got into this business so I could be home with my kids and be free. But then it quickly became a 9 to 5 again. And even though I was working for myself and I loved it, I was still stuck at the warehouse every day or stuck sourcing every day. So as long as moving forward things can be remote, like Walmart, OA to prep, or UGC you can create anywhere, then I'm okay. But like having the liquidation store, it didn't work because it kept me here and I want to travel more and stuff. So as long as it's remote, I'll take it on. If it's something that I have to be here for, then no.
Yeah, I think there's a big difference between like money and freedom. And a lot of times, like we get in this for the freedom and then we get caught up in the money. Like I thought about, I think it was early last year. I was like, I have enough money. I'm going to buy this gym equipment. I was going to open like a small gym.
Nice.
Then I thought, like, I was very close to doing it. And then I thought the same thing that you thought. Luckily, before I bought the stuff, because it would have been like a $100K investment. But I was like, why am I going to do this? Like, maybe I do make 10, 20 grand a month for it, but now I have a job. And I have to manage these employees. And if they're not there, now I have to go to the gym. I'm so happy I didn't do it now because I know what it would have created. Maybe it would have pushed me to kind of outsource it all or whatever. But
Sure.
yeah, it's like I'm not in it for the money. I'm more in it for the freedom. It's like way better to make, 10K, 5K working at home than it is to make like 15K. And I'm basically just running a job, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. One of my biggest goals, I think, is to do travel UGC, like for hotels and stuff. And I definitely, once I'm better at what it is that I do and I build the portfolio, I would love to just work on making content for hotels and travel all over. So
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, freedom is priceless.
Yeah, it's big. What about the software thing? You were mentioning that. Can you talk about that or?
Yeah, so there's a software, well, yeah, I think it's okay that I say it. Scam Power. So they have Amazon and Walmart capabilities. And this year, I guess it was at the end of last year, I took on a brand ambassador position with them. So helping to market, create content, just get the word out. We started building Walmart last, like, I don't even, March maybe, when Walmart started to pick up. So we started building like an interface to be able to scan when you're in the store and kind of like create those buy lists, do OA. So yeah, we're just working on making that bigger and better than it already is. It's already a very solid software, but adding Walmart to it. And then I work with some other software companies too that are trying to get into the Walmart space. But it's just hard with the lack of data share. It's really hard.
Yeah, I guess that is an edge though, right? That's what most people say. It's like that's the bad part of it, but it's also the good part. Because if there was data, that like tech like makes saturation way worse always. So the lack of tech there is probably helping people out a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny in the Facebook group, a lot of people will complain about, and I just keep reminding them like that's your protection. Like you know how to do the work, and Walmart works really well for those that are willing to put in the time and do the legwork. So like use that. Let's be grateful that it's harder. Like there's a moat around the platform right now. So as long as that moat can stay there, I'm happy.
Yeah, people don't understand like the more technology and more software that gets introduced in some is always bad for someone that's already on there. Like it's good for new people, but it's really bad for people that are already there because it's just making everything easier. So that is an appeal of Walmart. Do you think they'll change that? Think they'll like start releasing the data or not?
I don't think so. It depends who you ask. Software companies will say yes, they're going to start,
Yeah.
but so I'm also a new account influencer for Walmart. So I get to attend like meetings and things. And last year at the summit, I was in a round table and there's other sellers that get to do the same thing. But the question was mentioned like, when are you going to open your API? And the developers were just like, why? I mean, why would we do that? Like, we give you enough. So in my mind, I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. But I mean, you never know. Things change daily. But I just don't see why they would feel they need to. A lot of data that they do give includes in-store and online sales, and there's like no way to separate it. So I feel like a lot of sellers think, well, they need to be more like Amazon. But like, why? They've already built this brick and mortar successful company. They don't need to be more like Amazon. I think they want to add that, but I don't think they feel they need to. So
Yeah, and I don't see the benefit. I mean, is there a benefit? I don't know. Do they sell that data? Does Amazon? I don't know if they like charge for it. So I guess if they're not really making money off of it, there is no benefit to doing that, right?
I don't see it. But again, I'm not techie, so I don't know. But I don't see it happening anytime in the future. But you never know.
What do you got, John?
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't really see them a benefit to like giving away that data. Do you think Walmart will ever? I know they kind of have. Well, I'm not super familiar with it, but like an influencer program. But do you ever think it would be like AIP?
So they have Walmart Creator, and I've been in that program for about a year and a half, but it's very comparable to Amazon Influencer Offsite where you have to post the links.
Got
So
it.
unless
Okay,
you have a following, it's difficult to really make any kind of considerable money over there because you need people to click on your links.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. What about Target? I know people mention that they might bring on like an influencer type thing. I feel like the Target might work pretty well. I feel like a lot of women
Yeah.
shop at Target. Maybe this is just my stereotypes, but I feel like that's what Target's like, and it's like that's kind of who's watching a lot of this content, anyways, right? So
Yeah, it is. Target has one and so does Kohl's. I'm on the waiting list for both, but I haven't tried. I haven't been approved yet. So I'm waiting. But yeah, they both have creator programs.
Kohl's is interesting. I did. What is that called?
I don't even know. Like I found it on their website when I was just kind of cruising, not for shopping. I was actually looking specifically for like program brand reach stuff and it was there and I applied a couple months ago and just heard back this week that oh, we're still, looking your application over, but Walmart Creator took me a year to get accepted to, so that doesn't surprise me at all.
Interesting. You think there's going to be any new platforms that pop up? We talked about this on like our predictions, and I kind of predicted. I guess now if TikTok doesn't go away, it might not be like that. But I think they're going to make something that where you can like shop and watch this stuff. Like that's the whole app. Do you think anything like that may happen soon?
I mean, it definitely could. It already is happening. They're just not as popular as TikTok. Like when TikTok was going away and everyone was,
Mhm.
trying to find the new platform. So Flip, same concept. You review products and you get paid for watches. Clapper, is that what it's called? Clapper.
Yeah.
That's one again with content. People are doing like the live personal shopping over there. Um, I know there's more. I just can't remember them off the top of my head. Sometimes there's just too many apps for too many things to kind of keep track of
Yeah.
all of it. But
It's
yeah,
like how long is some of it going to be around, right?
right. That's just it. If people are going to support the platform or not. But Amazon even does the live shopping too. I was watching one the other night, kind of contemplating whether I was going to jump on and maybe show some products. But I think they're all just chasing each other. To be honest.
So where's the Amazon? I don't know how I've never asked this to anyone before, but where's like this Amazon influencer thing? Like, where is this in the app? So let's say I'm opening my Amazon app. Like, I just go search up products. Like, do you know, like, what are you even posting the videos for? Like, where do they go?
The live videos or the influencer?
You can answer both, each
Okay.
one.
Well, John can tell you that too. The
Yeah.
influencer video. So if you click on an item and scroll all the way to the bottom, that's where those are the influencer videos. And
Under
you
the
can watch.
reviews.
Yeah.
Usually above the reviews.
Okay,
Depends
so
on
those
whether
just
you're
Okay.
mobile, desktop. It depends.
Depends where you're looking at it. Yeah. But they have like a new TikTok. I'm actually opening it up so I can tell.
no
They
worries.
have like a new TikTok feature where you can scroll through content just like you can on TikTok.
Oh, okay. See that's kind of what I predicted would happen. I was like, I can't wait till like all you do is
Yep.
just doom scroll like products like
Doom
that.
scroll. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's what
Yeah.
it's called, right? You just lay in bed at night and just add to cart, add to cart, add to
Yeah.
cart.
It literally
Okay.
looks just like TikTok. It's the vertical videos and they're all just there.
Yeah, and it's all
Um,
and it's no like entertainment content. It's just straight product content, right?
yeah, but I mean, some of these it is product content,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
some have a twist.
Yeah, yeah. That's probably how you get seen, right? Yeah.
hmm
But
Yep.
the big thing is you have like intention buyers. Because on TikTok you might have 1 million views, but how many people are even there to shop? Like
Oh,
barely
absolutely.
any. But on
Yeah.
Amazon, literally 100% of people are going to be there to shop. Like they're not
Yeah.
going to pull up Amazon for fun.
Yep. If you click the little bars at the bottom of your app, there's one that's like shop by interest and shop by live. So that's how you get to those.
I'm gonna have to check that out tonight. I might just be doom scrolling to Amazon lives tonight.
You have all these boxes show up at your door tomorrow.
No, that'd be bad. I wonder how much do they get commissions based off. I wonder how the commission fee works on that type of thing.
Yeah, I don't know what the lives are. Maybe John knows the answer to this,
Uh,
but I've had brands reaching out saying, "Hey, will you go live on Amazon?" And it's just like, maybe we need to attach a price point to that though, because I'm
you
talking
could make a lot of money doing that. I'm in
for
another
live.
group,
Okay.
and some clothing company reached out to them, and I think they were willing to pay like 3 or 4K per
Oh,
month
nice. Guess
for
I
them
need
to
to.
do. I want to say it was like maybe 2 or 3 times a week for an hour.
See, how easy is that? You're at home, show some clothing. You probably don't even have to wear it. Just have a rack and show it. 3 to 4K. Like, you can't resell and make that in an hour. Not anymore.
Definitely
No,
not.
that's crazy. I bet that's going to be a bigger thing this year for sure. Because the fact I didn't know about it must not be like that popular yet. But when everybody's talking about it, like
Yeah.
you talk to your friends and family and they start talking about it, then it's really big.
Yeah.
And
So
I bet
get
that's
in while
going
you
to be.
can.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if you got paid like performance based. You get like $5 each product that sell. It's like TikTok. You get whatever the commission thing
Right.
is. That would be pretty good. I'm sure people are making a killing. Maybe that's like the
Oh,
new
sure.
thing.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. Now
Yeah,
I'm
I'm gonna look up the statistics on it because I wonder how many views a lot of these things have. Like how many people
sure.
are watching at once. Does it say? Do you know, or have you even looked?
I've
These,
never watched
well,
one.
I'll jump in
Imagine
now.
the first one you click on. There's like 48,000 people on there. We've just
Like, I
uncovered a
gotta
new
go.
business model. That's gonna be the title of this: uncovering a brand new 10K a month opportunity live on the pod.
It doesn't tell me how many people are in this, but she's literally live just showing clothing. Like, she's not wearing it, she's just showing it. And it already has 1,000 likes.
Oh, okay, that's a lot of
That's
views then.
crazy.
So yeah, she's just got a clothing with a rack behind her with pants on it, and she's just showing the pants. So
Man, that is interesting.
now I
And
have
you said
something new
you're
to do.
not you haven't done that yet, or?
I haven't done live on Amazon. No, I've just recently had some brands ask me if I would, and I was kind of like, well, I don't really have time for that. But after what John just said, I think I'm going to revisit those emails.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure they'd pay you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got something similar, right, John? You got some going live like 8 hours a day or whatever, right?
Yeah, it was for like I turned it down. It was for someone was like pump and dump crypto, and
Oh,
then it was like 5K for the month, but you had to go live 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
every day?
Yeah, and it turned out to be it turned out to be like $15 or $20 per hour, and like you were just
Mm.
dumping like crypto. It didn't even make sense. I think I sent it to Drew and he's like, yeah, I think you're gonna go to jail if you do that.
Yeah, that's
And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna tell them now.
Not worth the money.
yeah, because
Yeah,
there's people on TikTok all day that are like, it's going up, but then there's somebody on the other end that just sells it every single time. So I'm sure that's what they were running. But like
Got
if you
you.
get like 1,000 viewers, you have all these people buying. Like, yeah, it'd be profitable to pay somebody like that.
That's
Which is,
crazy.
and it would be on my socials. It wouldn't be like it's not like I'd go on their socials and like pump and dump it. It'd be like my
Ooh.
face, my brand. I'm like,
and
no.
You don't
unless
want
you could
that
buy
for
it.
yourself.
No. What else you got, John?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I'm curious about is kind of what do you kind of think of the future of reselling based on everything going on?
Reselling is always going to exist in one way or another. I mean, whether it's Facebook Marketplace or eBay, there's so much opportunity to resell, especially with discontinued products and things like that people still want to find. If we're talking Amazon specifically, I think it definitely depends on who you ask. I feel like that platform is trying to just focus on PL and maybe wholesale sellers that have relationships with brands, direct relationships. But I don't know as if Amazon's going to be such a great place for retail arbitrage sellers moving forward. Hopefully I'm wrong because there's a lot of sellers and a lot of softwares and a lot of companies that rely on those businesses, but they are sure making it hard to make money if you actually know your numbers with all the shipping and the placement fees. I mean, everything. So
Yeah, who we were talking to Gavin. He was saying that what is it, 3 Colts that bought all those companies, those software companies, they're just bundling them up into one,
yeah,
which has to mean that there's less people buying the software, right? That's like the only thing
first
that
thing
could
I thought
possibly mean.
too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of like, how do we just condense all this stuff and just make it easier, I guess, to onboard? Because most people probably like getting on Amazon now, they're off in a month, where the life cycle before is probably a little longer. So it's like, how can we just like get them all the softwares at once, extract the money, and then go on? Yeah, that's if they keep like clapping down on it like they are, like how much of an effect that'll show everywhere. Everybody with Discord groups and coaching programs and
Prep
software. It's just like
centers. It's like,
so
Yeah.
much money wiped
Lead
out. Like,
lists. There's
yeah.
there's so many people that would be affected by it. So I hope that's not true, but I don't know. I just think once you get into it and you realize how much time and grind you're putting into it now versus what it used to be like, there's just better ways to spend your time and your money.
Yeah. And there's somebody that said this on one of our first episodes. I've said this like 10 times. Is he was like, Amazon's eventually going to be the point where it's like the 16-year-old who can work 60 hours a week and is okay with making 50 grand a year is going to be the Amazon seller.
There you
Like, it's
go.
going to be the person with the most time that
Yep.
can take the most risk and doesn't really care about the reward as much. That's going to be the typical person, which is like,
That's
that is
smart.
just terrible. Because it used to be like, whoever just wanted to do it as a side hustle, make an extra 5-10 grand a month. Now it's
Right.
like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
If you're promising that, that's obviously a lie.
Yeah. No. And I mean, Walmart's eventually going to continue to be like that too. So I guess ride the wave while you can, but just keep your eyes open for new opportunities because
Yeah.
they're out there. And especially just being kind of an e-commerce entrepreneur, you should be, aware of what's going on around you and where the opportunities are, because if something makes you more money for less time and freedom, then jump on it, because why not? Don't
Yeah.
be so set in your ways that you can't see past, like the blinders.
Yeah. And this is probably hypocritical for me, but I think a lot of people should do the content stuff more, especially because we brought so many people on and it's like consistent basis of success and nobody's been doing it long. Like no one's been like grinding content for years, like UGC stuff, but a lot of people are having success. I feel like the barrier of like showing your face on camera is probably stopping most people. That's what I always tell John. Like, I don't know how bad it can get saturated because you're not going to get everybody that's just willing to get on camera and talk and do stuff like that. That's a big hurdle to get over, way bigger than reselling.
Oh God,
So,
that was huge for me. I mean,
yeah.
I couldn't even 2 years ago, there was no way I wouldn't even be on this podcast. Like I could not talk in front of a camera. But baby steps, it gets easier. Practice in your house. Don't post it anywhere. Just practice and practice editing, because the editing is a huge part of it too. Just start doing that if this is something you eventually want to do. Get comfortable with it. But I love that there's an opportunity for everybody, every age. Brands need such a wide variety of people, and we all kind of resonate with someone different. So yeah, there's no way it's going to get saturated. There's just so much opportunity, so many different brands. I mean,
I like what you said there about recording yourself. That's good. Like, I think a lot of things is like, if you would just watch yourself, most people hate themselves on camera, right? That's like the typical thing. I hate my voice. I hate my face on camera.
Right.
If you just watch yourself over and over, it's like, this isn't that bad.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started doing podcasts, I'm like, I'm going to be so bad. And people were like, oh, have you done these? I'm like, no. But I just watch myself talk in like different presentations and things. I'm like, okay, if you can just get over that little fear, like you're going to be fine.
Yeah, for sure. That's huge. Yep.
No.
Don't get in your own way.
Yeah, for sure. I 100% agree with you. That's why I'm so bullish on the UGC AIP. Like, I just can't see how it gets saturated. And it requires, like, eventually you're going to have to be, like, somewhat talented. Like, you're going to have to be able to edit. You're going to have to be able to, like, go to the store and do all this other stuff. I think that's what I like about it the most. Like, anyone could go on Walmart, buy this water bottle, sell it, and everyone's shopping at the same stores, buying the same thing, buying off the same list. Like, it's all that stuff, but there's just so many brands that like need someone that's like room looks exactly like Sarah's, and not everyone's gonna have a room that looks exactly like Sarah's.
Right.
And like that just kind of protects the opportunity.
Yep, so true.
Do you have any parting words to leave the viewers? Anything to tell them in the future? You gave so much advice on here. I feel like that if people are in between the Amazon stuff, that you've gave a lot of the UGC stuff. But you broke it down very simply on this. I think we had VSN on here, Vision. He was he was deep in the weeds. You gave a much simpler thing on here, which is very, very good.
I just think I would encourage anyone who's even remotely interested in creating content or working with brands, just start. I mean, you're not putting any money into it, so you don't have to see a return right away. Just start the reps, start the reps, right? Eventually you're going to see progress. You're going to get excited about it. And as soon as you get that brand that reaches out and they're like, yeah, $2,000 a month for 3 videos. I mean, after that, you're hooked. So just start with anything. Push past those fears, because you're just in your own way, and we always make things bigger in our heads than they really are. Especially with organic content, viewers want to see how you're different than everybody else. Like, viewers are tired of seeing the same thing, the same models, the same, ripped guy. Like, sure, it's great, but I want to see what I look in like in that outfit or using that product, or what would my husband look like in that outfit, so just put yourself out there, just try it. If you absolutely hate it, you've lost absolutely nothing. So
Awesome.
Yeah, I love that. And I think what a lot of people don't realize too is like when I did my TikTok account, like I started another one. So like no one that I had on my like, family, like no one knew. I was just like a total stranger. And that really helped me out a lot because I was
that's
like,
great.
it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yep. And start faceless if you want to. Start making,
Yeah.
just get used to making content. You don't have to be in it right away. Just talk about products. With AIP, you don't have to be in it, but just
Yeah.
start.
Anything to plug? Where can we find you at?
If you like selling on Walmart, I have a free Facebook group. It's called the Walmart Sellers Network. Started it last summer. So there's a lot of good, knowledgeable sellers in there. It's all free, willing to help you out. And then the Sellers Network Discord is the one I run with Chaz and Ryan. And then Arbitrage Avenue, I'm everywhere. I don't do a lot of Twitter, but Instagram's kind of like where I hang out. So
Sweet.
Cool. All right.
awesome.
Well, thanks for being here and doing this. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. And we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks,
Peace.
guys.
Peace.